Station, WTIM.
It's the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper, your host. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I have People's Assistance Company in studio right now. That includes Vice President Jennifer Nagel. Great to have you here, Jennifer.
Nice to be here.
So tell me, what is People's Assistance Company?
Well, People's Assistance is what actually we refer to as the 504 Home Repair Program. It provides loans to very low income homeowners to repair, improve, or modernize their homes, or provides grants to elderly to remove health and safety hazards.
So how did this all come about?
Well, the background on the People's Assistance Company was December 1st, 2018. Most people know we had a tornado in the area, and so we had some nonprofit organizations that were not really familiar with getting some improvements done in the area. And our CEO, John Gardner, he was actually very familiar with the USDA program. And we decided to create this nonprofit association to actually help work through those application processes to help people fix those home issues that they had.
So this all stemmed from the tornado. And so you would assist the certain nonprofits with the paperwork and okay.
Exactly. It's a little bit of a lengthy process to actually work with the USDA. You have to, the application itself can be a little daunting. And even though, we deal with applications all day long. So what might be daunting to you is really just take it piece by piece and work through it. It's really not as bad for us.
That's kind of what I was going with. My next line of questioning is, how do you approach your approach to that kind of stuff? And you mentioned it, the piece by piece approach. I guess I just want to learn a little bit more about how you're able to sparse through so much information that for me, I could never do. I just want to know how you do it.
It's one step at a time. So what you do, you must there's some qualifications that you must meet in order to qualify for the program. You must be a homeowner, and you must occupy yourself in the home. You must be able to obtain affordable credit elsewhere. And you have to have a family income with the very low income limits. So that kind of is the basis for the program. And then you have to be in a rural area. So our program allows us to offer this through all of our markets, through all of our 10 locations that we have. So we can kind of spread out through central Illinois. When you get that program, once you qualify, the application process itself is probably about 14 pages of an application process. And it's just asking general information and asking for general documentation, which that is probably the most daunting of everything.
What is the income guideline based on? I know the state kind of defines low income. The federal also defines low income in its own kind of way. What is People's Assistance Company referring to?
Well, actually, there is actually a site that we refer to, and it is that low family income, and it is the USDA government sites, and it's the direct limit map. So it kind of tells you what the income is for each of the areas that you might be in, because what is the same for Christian County might not be the same for Coles County. And then it goes by family size. So whether you're a family of 1 versus a family of 9, obviously you need more income for a family of 9 than you do for a family of 1. So there's that kind of limitation in there too.
When people are going through the application process, I guess what would be your advice to them when they are just a little bit overwhelmed?
Well, we actually have some paperwork that you can kind of go over, and we have simplified it a little bit. We're just telling you that, income guidelines that we need. We just tell you that we need 4 pay stubs. We might need 2 years tax returns. We might need a W-2. If you're Social Security, you won't necessarily be filing tax returns. So we won't collect tax returns from you. If you have any children living in the home, and by children, they could be over the age of 18. They're still dependents. And if they do work, we would need some information about those children and the income they might be bringing into the home.
Okay. And another thing along those lines, outside of for a lack of a better term, making too much money to qualify, is there anywhere else or any other situation that wouldn't apply for people that are looking for assistance to rebuild their homes?
So you're actually, yes, you have to be in an eligible area. So if you are not in a rural area and you might be living in a metro area, so a lot of Sangamon County wouldn't be included in the area because they are a metro area. But if you're in a rural area, most places in rural areas do qualify.
So Taylorville is fine.
Taylorville's great.
Okay, perfect. And so, and the surrounding communities of Taylorville are covered in that. But if you're in, say, Springfield, then maybe not as much.
Yeah, Springfield, Decatur,
Right.
they won't qualify.
Gotcha. And let's see well, you've got a lot of paperwork in front of you too. And I guess what I wanted to know is, how did the tornado, right? Where if I take you back to 2018, take me back to the way the community needed so much help, and how in the immediate days after, because I'll be frank with you, I wasn't here during the tornado. So help me kind of paint a picture. Oh, we got some phones, and that's okay. Live radio. Help me paint a picture of how the tornado assistance, like, how was it right away that people started looking for assistance? Was it, and then like were People's Assistance Company and other nonprofits able to come in right away, or did it take a little bit of time? And and how did that eventually kind of come to its completion?
Yeah. So what had happened is, obviously we actually created our program after the tornado incident.
Right.
But what spurred the fact that we needed this program was you had a lot of people who were either underinsured, or they had no insurance at all, and they had all their home was either totally obliterated, not around, or they had some major repairs and couldn't inhabit the home. And the missions for Taylorville actually had a alarming rate of inquiries about funds, and no, they really didn't have a lot of funds available at that time to actually work on this program.
Wow.
So that's kind of how it got started.
Yeah.
Now, you notice 2018 to 2022 is kind of a long period of time.
Good 4 years.
Yeah. So do you know what happened in about 2019, 2020?
Well, I know what happened, but I don't want to say it. So why don't you?
Well, we had COVID hit. And so it kind of stopped and halted because, one, you couldn't allow people into your lobbies because we were basically doing drive up facilities. And we couldn't, so it halted the whole process until actually COVID was kind of, I'm not going to say over, but was into a more of a normal
Right.
set of mind.
To where we are kind of now in the
Right,
pandemic,
today.
where
Yep.
we're all managing living with it. And so you've been able to kind of build that momentum back up since about 2020, mid 2021
Yes.
or so.
Yes.
Okay.
So we actually got our corporation process had started in 2019, November 2019, and we was able to actually get approved through USDA in 2021 when they were actually we finally got the application process rolling.
Okay. I want to talk more about everything going on with Vice President of People's Assistance Company, Jennifer Nagel, here on the WTIM Morning Show. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first.
WTIM. Your information station, WTIM.
It's a WTIM morning show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I have Vice President of People's Assistance Company, Jennifer Nagel. Jennifer, it sounded for a second there, like I said, it's an assistance company, right? But it is there for assistance for people. And what I want to know is why People's Assistance Company? Why is it here for people in the community, to put it bluntly?
Well, the program actually helps more than just the borrower. The program actually helps the community also. If you have properties or homes in the area that are a little bit dilapidated, that do have, some health concerns, and us as individuals, if we observe those properties, then we can help fix them. And then all in all, that will help us increase our value in our community.
Right. You might have a pristine home, but if there's an abandoned house and a few doors down, for example, then that's going to perhaps affect your property value. And if it's not affecting it, at least it's not appreciating the way maybe it should. Do I have the accurate
That is correct.
description? Okay. And cool. So how much money can people apply for?
Well, altogether, you can get up to $50,000. 40,000 of it can actually be a loan, and 10,000 of it can be a grant. Now, in order to qualify for the grant, you must be over the age of 62, and still you have to have the income and the eligibility to actually be accepted. But the 40,000 in the loan, you could just be lower income. Again, still have to be in the proper income bracket, and you have to be in the proper eligibility area. But the loan is actually amortized out for 20 years, and the interest rate's actually fixed at 1%. So it is actually a very low borrowing program if you qualify.
Right. What are interest rates right now? Do you know?
I
don't want. Yeah, they're well, let's just say they're high.
They're high. I mean, your average home loan right now is like 6.5%, 7% for the secondary market.
And what did you say? 2%?
I just said 1. Yes.
1% even. So there you go. That's a pretty good option as well. And again, this is for qualified borrowers only. That's again low income and within the qualified area.
Correct.
Okay. Well, how does someone get started on all of this?
So how you get started is you come and see us at the bank, at People's Bank and Trust. We actually have it on our website. It's under our People's Assistance tab, and it kind of has the eligibility and what is actually kind of required from you. You call our facility, our 1-888-728-1954. That's correct. I don't dial it all the time.
Want to do it one more time?
Yes. 888-728-1954. You give us a call and you actually speak with any one of our consumer bankers. And what they can do is they can help walk you through that process. Like I said, step by step.
Well, let's see. We've covered the who, the what. I guess, is there anything else that you want people to know about People's Assistance Company when it comes to renovating their homes?
Yeah. Not everybody listens to the radio. Not everybody goes on the internet. Not everybody does Facebook, which is all places where we actually have advertised for the People's Assistance. But most people will maybe look around town and maybe they'll see a tarp on a roof, and maybe they'll see broken stairs on a front porch. Or maybe they'll see a dilapidated ramp in the front or side of a home. Or maybe they might see some broken handrails, cracked windows, or tape holding windows together. Maybe they'll see windows open during a 90-degree day. Or maybe they'll see water in the middle of a yard because of sewer issues. Maybe they'll see cracked foundation or siding. And if you see those, it might be great to reach out to the person and say, hey, we have this program. There is this program available. You might be able to get assistance with that leaky roof or with the sewer issue. We are we want to help.
I think you alluded to it just a moment ago. You had the window open on the 90-degree day. Which signals to me they might not have air conditioning or
That's
something.
correct.
Is that something that this could go towards?
Yes, if like I said, it could be a health concern. If you are if you're an elderly person, being in a home that's not air conditioned actually could be very detrimental to your
Right.
health.
Right. It could be harmful and
Yeah.
maybe even
Just like
worse.
carpeting could be detrimental. You don't want to trip. It could be a tripping hazard.
Right. Or maybe if you have mold somewhere in your house, for example, I'm just kind of coming up with examples, but that might be a health hazard too. And you might need to get rid of that. And that is where you would come in with some
That's correct.
assistance. All right. Well, we have about a minute left. I was thinking that this would be a good time, Jennifer, unless you had something else that you'd like, another direction you'd like to take it, to where maybe you can share a story of a time where this has impacted or helped somebody. If you have anything like that, if you have any anecdotes you'd like to share.
I don't
Oh,
at
it's
this
okay.
time. Unfortunately, we've been working on getting this program started, but I've not actually received many applications. So if you all can get me some applications, I would love to help. I would love to help people out.
And maybe next time you come on, then you can share some stories
exactly.
about the success that you've been able to have. Perhaps give me your overall elevator pitch one more time before we go.
If you
let me rephrase. Why should people contact you at People's Assistance Company? And who should contact you?
If you're in dire need of any home repairs, please contact People's Bank and Trust. We will try to work out a solution regarding anything that might happen if we can.
Okay. That is Jennifer Nagel. She is the Vice President of People's Assistance Company, a subsidiary of People's, subsidiary of People's Bank and Trust. People's Assistance Company, helping people navigate the paperwork if they need any sort of home renovation. Again, want to thank Jennifer Nagel. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville. You'll always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first.
WTIM.